Hi YouTube, it's Daft Steve 333 here again with a selected pickups video. I've tried filming some live footage at one of the car boots, but have yet to actually get round to editing it, so you might see some of this stuff in a forthcoming video if I ever get round to doing that. You might not. So I've got a few pickups ranging from some car boots to the Birmingham video game market a few weeks ago. Probably the last person on the internet to actually upload anything to do with that. Didn't see anyone there, although I did learn afterwards that Russ Retro Bear was there, as was Eddie Rollercore, and some others as well, but I turned up a bit late. I decided at the last minute to go. So yeah, I missed out on the early access tickets and the like, so never mind. It was a good time anyway. I enjoyed it and picked myself a few things up, which I'll come to in a few minutes. Anyway, going to try and make this not too long. So where to start? I'll get the new gen stuff out of the way. I saw this on special offering game a few weeks ago, so it is technically new. The box is a little tiny bit dinged, but I had to get it because it's something with the late great Rutger Hauer in it. It was on Xbox Game Pass, but I missed it, so I thought I wouldn't mind actually owning that. So when I saw this, I thought, yeah, I'll get that. So it's Observer for the PlayStation 5. So yet to play it, but it looks interesting. So what to do next? Apologies if I might have covered this in a previous video. I got this from a car boot maybe 3 or 4 months ago now. I think they wanted a $5 for it or something like that. No instructions, but it's Micro Machines for the Mega Drive. Next things aren't technically pickups as such. I don't know if people will agree with what I've done here, but I've got loose carts. I've still got lots of loose carts for Mega Drive games, and I thought it was a shame that they were sitting languishing in a drawer rather than sort of on my shelf. So I've basically repurposed a few spare Mega Drive cases, not the best condition ones in the world, but basically I've printed off covers for Alicia Dragoon, Moonwalker and Zero Tolerance. Obviously no instructions with them, and although, like I say, you might not agree with printing out the labels or, you know, the inlays, I'm not planning on selling them, so it just tidies up my collection a little bit. So yeah, that was good. I'm finding myself these days sort of gravitating more towards Sega collecting than Nintendo, which is interesting. But anyway, you know, I still get a fair smattering of both. Where did I get this? I think this was 50p. This was from a boot sale. It's basically just a loot box, Fallout bobblehead or whatever. I thought 50p, I'll get that. Next, these were from a car boot when we did our apparently now traditional day trip to Skegness. There's a car boot sale just outside Skegness at a place called Chapel St Leonard's. There's not a great deal there, but it's nice to have a walk around a different car boot. So obviously, you know, the last 3 years we haven't actually managed to get away on holiday, so we've visited Skegness for the day, which is reasonably close to where I live. You can do it in a day, and if we get up really early we can go to a car boot. So a couple of things. In fact, actually, if I just turn around here, I got these as well, so I'll come to them in a minute. First thing I saw, most of the stuff I got was actually from the same store. It was a little overpriced, but I was happy to pick something up. This was not from that place. This was something I'd not seen, and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. It's a DS game by Ubisoft called Cop the Recruit. I've since learned it's meant to be quite decent. So that's good. And then these pickups I got from, like I say, the same stall. I'm going to do it in reverse order. I saw the Game Boy games later, so I got, oh yes, the Recruit was about £2, I think. I got it with Batman the Brave and the Bold for the Wii, which was £3, which is in a pile of things that I can't be asked to get uncovered. So apologies, you'll have to take my word for that. So anyway, the Game Boy games that I saw at this guy's stall that I went back to were, my eyes, Looney Tunes Collection Martian Alert, which is that. Then we got another Looney Tunes game, Martian Revenge, both of which I actually quite like the look of because they're Looney Tunes and they've got Marvin the Martian in, which is pretty cool. One of my favourite characters, beyond the all-time favourite, or behind the all-time favourite, Wile E. Coyote. And then the other one I found was Battletoads. I think he did me a slight amount of money off. I think they were still overpriced, probably even, you know, as much as CEX or somewhere, but I was happy enough to pick them up. This one I thought was a little bit more of a bargain. The cover is very sun faded, but you don't often see Master System games at the car boot anymore. So I picked this up. It's Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars. As you can see, the rear is good. Obviously that don't look too faded, but the front is very faded. The cart is in good condition. The manual is pretty manky. I've actually put it backwards because it looks better that way. But yeah, I'm happy enough with that. So cool. So that was pretty much all I picked up from that car boot, barring the odd, you know, 360 game or PS3 game to trade. So yeah, onto a different car boot. One of my favourite ones, or my actual favourite car boot, has just finished forever last week. And a couple of these things I picked up from there a few weeks ago. Steel Diver for the 3DS. That was 50p. So I thought that's got to be worth a punt at 50p. And it's got a lenticular cover, which I'm always a sucker for. So worth the 50p for that. The other thing I got was there's Steel Diver in the other thing that I got, which I saw early in the day, and then I went back and he hadn't shifted it. It's a 2DS, came with a charger, and as you can see, it works eventually. Come on, turn on. Don't show me up. There we go. So there we go. That was, he wanted 30 for it originally. I knocked him down to 20. Probably not the best price in the world, but it's in nice nick, and I'll probably trade that in at some point, because I've actually got a couple of 2DS's. So anyway, I thought that was decent. So what next? I took a few days off because of the no summer holiday. I decided I was going to go and just have a little mooch around, see if I could find a particular Dreamcast game, because my Dreamcast PAL collection is nearly there. I have picked up more Dreamcast games in the intervening months since the last video, but again they're put away at the moment, and I might cover them in a separate video. But anyway, I didn't find the particular Dreamcast game that I was looking for, but I did find some other things. I went to 2 or 3 of the local game stores in the area. These are selected pickups from each. Again, there's a couple of things that I don't have easy access to, but they're out of the way at the minute. So I went to Vintage Gamer. I went to the 2 in Birmingham that are fairly close to me, which is Entertainment World, and I forget the name of the other one. I'm really sorry to the owner of that store. I've only ever been there once before, but But from there I got Wheel of Katamari, which very pleased with. Very odd games, but it was nice to get that. The other thing that I got was Mobile Light Force, which I think he'd mispriced. So although I've got a copy of that already, I thought I'll pick that up. I think he had it up for like either £6 or £8, so I thought, yeah, I'll have that. That'll probably be moved on, and obviously I'll keep the other one that I've got for my own collection. What else did I get from Entertainment World? Mainly a selection of PlayStation 1 games, which I've again left out of reach. So maybe in another video I'll go over what they were. These things I picked up from Vintage Gamer. Again, I've left one of them over here, which is Robotron 64. Interesting story about that. I thought it was so nice to get that I went online to try and find a box or a manual for it, and then I found a very reasonably priced boxed with manual version, so I ended up buying that, which is currently in my little cabinet of Nintendo cardboard, which again you're going to have to take my word for. The other things I got from Vintage Gamer was another thing which is in the Nintendo stroke Sega Saturn cabinet, I suppose, is a loose copy of the Gold Cart Legend of Zelda. Excuse me. Of course, oddly enough, although I've played the game via various methods, you know, collections on later hardware, through, you know, virtual store and so forth, I've never actually played it on the NES. So I saw it and I thought, yeah, it's time. I've almost got it several times before, and it seems to be becoming more expensive and harder to find, or at least, you know, a decent looking copy is seeming that way. So I pulled the trigger on it, and along with that I got 3 Sega games. I got Athlete Kings for the Saturn, which is in nice nick. I think that was £8 or £10. Sorry about the prices here, because this is such a fragmented pickups video. It's difficult to remember what cost what when, but I do remember that I got this from Vintage Gamer, mainly after seeing someone comment on it being quite a good shoot 'em up. It's box and cart only, no instructions, but it is Bomber Raid. So as you can see, it's a shooter. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to get that. And then this one is a bit of an upgrade. I've got this game already. I think it's a quite decent conversion given the hardware. Again, it's another Master System game, and it is Operation Wolf, which I previously only had as a cart. So I'll move the cart on, and as you can see, it's in very nice condition. Nice manual, nice cartridge. So that's good. Happy with that. What else did I get? Weekend just gone. At the favourite car boot of mine, I might as well tell you where it is. It's a place called Studley, which is not too far from Redditch, I think. So yeah, I've been going there about 10 years, and that's my favourite one. I've picked up some decent stuff there over the years, and it's a well-run place. They don't charge you to actually go in and buy. They obviously charge you a reasonable if you're actually doing a stall there. So yeah, it's a shame to see that one finish. So anyway, I went to the last one the other week, last week actually. A lot of the things I got were bits to complete things. So I got, for example, 3 Super Nintendo power supplies, also 2 Super Nintendo controllers. This was from a particular seller, and I think this was £1 or £2. The case is battered. It's another Master System game. It's World Soccer. yeah, the case has definitely seen better days, but it's got the manual and it's a card. I don't think it's ever been or going to be a game that sets the world on fire, but £2 for a Master System game, I'm happy with that. Actually, it was 1 SNES controller and 3 power supplies plus World Soccer from that guy. I think I also got an Xbox One game, which was The Escapists, the Walking Dead edition, which is the other side of the room. The other 2 SNES controllers and this I got from a seller that you might see in the footage video. If I ever upload it, from a few weeks previous. They had a Master System and I think 15 games that I'd seen earlier in the summer that they obviously hadn't shifted, you know, up till about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So you can guess the games were solid but not spectacular, because I remember looking at them sort of back in May, I think, and thinking, yeah, if it was maybe a half or even 2/3 the price, I'd be tempted. And I think it was a Model 2 Master System rather than a Model 1. Anyway, so yeah, from these sellers, but I don't know if they were sort of clearing their stock a little bit or whether they were feeling kind. They'd got 2 Super Nintendo controllers and this separately. They had this up for 30, which I think is possibly a little bit overpriced. So I asked how much would this plus the 2 controllers, and I think it was like an aerial cable or something like that, and they says do you the lot for 30. So at the end of the day I got this plus 2 free SNES controllers and some wires. Or you could look upon it that they cost me a £5 each and this cost me 20, which makes it a little bit better. Anyway, I'm jabbering. This is what I got, and it is a SNES Advantage controller, which I am looking forward to stripping down and tidying up and cleaning up a little bit, and then I'll employ it on Super LS behind me. So yeah, I'm pleased to get that. Like I say, I think they're a little bit overpriced on things. You know, it's one of those tables where you've got a lot of old toys, you know, not in the best condition. I mean, for example, I saw a couple of Transformers, not G1 Transformers, but sort of more recent ones. Not, you know, pretty nice, but mainly plastic, as opposed to the earlier ones, which are more solidly made. These look like, you know, if you manhandled them too much, they'd snap to bits. But they were looking decent, but I think they were up for quite a lot of money, more like what you'd expect for the G1 stuff. Anyway, I digress. I was happy to get the SNES stuff. So yeah, I think that, like I say, the majority of the other stuff that I got that day was mainly stuff to complete things or stuff which, you know, is not. I thought I wouldn't put in the video. I got a Halo 360 controller in reasonable condition. I asked how much it was. The guy says £4, but if you make it a £5, I'll throw in this, and he threw in a 360, one of the original white ones, 60 gig hard drive. Looked like, I don't know, looked like someone had stuck it in a field for 10 years and then I don't know, slung mud at it for a good proportion of that time. I thought, okay, £1 for a 360 probably won't work, but you know, I might be able to salvage a few bits out of it because I've got a non-working 360 or 2 somewhere. Got it home and it only works, doesn't it? Obviously after I cleaned it up a bit, I semi-stripped it down. It works. The disk drive on it doesn't sound too clever, but I can probably swap that out for one of the other ones that I've got. But I'm planning on stripping that down and giving it a good clean and maybe seeing if I can get that working. Obviously get the X clamps off and get some new thermal paste on, and it will actually end up looking quite nice. So I think basically what had happened to it was someone had stopped using it, stuck it in a garage for 10 years or something, and forgot about it. So 360 working one, or at least semi-working one, for £1, I can't really moan at. But you've all seen the 360 before, and it's in several pieces at the minute. So yeah, I thought I wouldn't show that. What else? I think, yeah, that is more or less it. I got a PS2 Slim power supply, an old original Xbox S controller, but without the breakout cable part at the end, but I've got a few of them. And yeah, just little bits and bobs really. Oh, I did get this from a charity shop. Well, I remember. This was a £5, I think, or £6. I do like my Halo. Halo Mythos. It's supposed to be 25 quid. Whether it ever sold for 25 quid, I don't know. It's the sort of book that you generally end up seeing in the works for a tenner or something. But you know, it's mainly art and a little bit of, you know, stories. But I thought that was nice. So yeah, that was from a charity shop. So please do have that. So yeah, onto the gaming market, which, as I say, only decided to go to probably the Thursday evening before it was on. I think it must have been same with Retro Bear, Russ, probably seconds after they sold out of the early admission tickets. But I weren't too fussed. Made my way into Birmingham. Took a little bit longer than I anticipated to get in because the roadworks on all the way in, but I got in the end, and I was quite happy with that. What did I get? Basically, I had a little trawl round. I'm just trying to work out what I got from who. Yeah, there we go. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I went round and looked at all the things. Couldn't find the Dreamcast game that I was looking for specifically, but I did see some other stuff, including the majority of the things that I got from one particular stall. So I might as well show you what they all are. I've been hankering after this for a while. I would have preferred a box copy, but loose I was quite happy with. I think they wanted 10 or 15 for this. It's Cruising USA for the N64. They also had these, which are, I think, probably Argos specials that they might have picked up in bulk. I would like to get that for the GameCube, but the price of it means I probably won't, unless the bottom falls out of the market. But Chibi Robo Ziplash, I will obviously open that at some point and play it, but it looks like quite a cute little game. The other one is Fire Emblem Warriors. Again, it's still sealed, and these were like, they wanted £4 or something for them each, so that was pretty decent. And then at this one, I saw this particular game I saw in about 4 different stalls with fairly wildly varying prices. I've never played it. I think I'd seen some footage before. I believe it is a first-person shooter, similar like Doom style. I think it's meant to be quite good. It's by Domark. But it's in very nice condition, and this was actually the cheapest one that I saw, and probably the best condition one that I saw. It's Bloodshot. So it's got a very nice manual, and the cartridge is very nice too. So I figured that's worth a go. I think they wanted either 15 or 20 for that, and I'd seen it in there as high as 30, 35, I think, from some sellers. There was one particular seller who had some nice stuff there. He'd got, I think, Burning Rangers and so on. But looking at all of his games on there, he was probably one of the most expensive in there. And everything he had seemed to be, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, £5 more than your general selling price on eBay. I know the guys have got to make a living and that, but and obviously it's nice to see the game in front of you so you can have a look at the condition of it. But some of the stuff he was selling, you know, he'd got say for example Super Star Wars on the Super Nintendo, which I was tempted by because I've only got that cartridge only, and would be nice to get a box copy of it one day. But you know, he got a box in fairly average condition, shall we say. And you know, he was selling that for maybe a £5 more than your average eBay price. And you know, some of the ones on eBay were in better nick. So you know, there was a fairly wide variance. So some of the stuff I'd mentally earmarked from him, I thought, no, I'll leave it on this occasion. Anyway, back to the store where I got the little bundle deal. The other game that I got was the Cap Attack, and again, it's complete. It's got the manual and the cartridge. The manual's got a little bit of curling at the edges of the pages, but that sort of thing don't bother me. I'm not particularly fussy. Having gone through that little mini, not rant, but grumble, I'm not that fussy about things, and you'll probably see that in the next pickup, which is something I've been wanting to play for probably 15 years, since I heard it was meant to be a good game, and every time I've seen it, it's been about the price that I got it for and without a manual, so I've left it. This is about as close as I can get to it. It is Rocket Knight Adventures, so box is in nice shape, and if you look in there, it looks like everything's pretty decent. You know, the cartridge is in good nick. The manual, however, it's got basically the staple is well, you know, where the staple attaches to there has come loose, but it's a manual, so that does for me. I will probably try and Heath Robinson a repair of sorts for it. You can get very thin, almost like tracing paper, gummed paper, which I'll probably put on the reverse of the cover inlay, and then try and put the staple back through, and then obviously resist the urge to use the manual too much. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but yeah, it's got a manual of sorts in condition. You know, I've seen a lot worse. The Wonder Boy, sorry, the Alex Kidd one, for example, that's a lot worse. I didn't show you the front cover of that because you don't want to see it really. So this will do me, and I can play the game finally. So that was my biggest single spend. The little collection of games here, these and Cruising USA, I think they knocked about £6 or £8 off, which I was happy with. It was, you know, a decent reduction. I didn't want to take the P. This one, I asked what the best price they could do on it was. I think he got it marked up for 38. I think he knocked it down to 35. So I thought, yeah, that's decent enough. I've seen it, like I say, I've seen it for that sort of price probably a dozen times, and all the time without a manual, so I'm happy with that. And then I was just browsing the stall that was immediately in front of you if you came in the front door and turned left, literally just before it closed for the day. They've got a load of like ST and Amiga games there, which were great. And then I was going through a little box of DS, and I do tend to pick up my Final Fantasy games, and I saw a DS one that I'd not actually got. I was down to loose change in my pocket, and the call had gone out, you know, that's it, closed, please make your purchases and leave. So I got this in my hand, and I asked if they could knock a couple of quid off, so that it matched pretty much what I got in my pocket. I think I was left with 70p in the end. So I think I got it for £8. It's Final Fantasy Echoes of Time. So yeah, pleased to get that. Another one for the Final Fantasy collection. And that was it. So I didn't go mad. And trust me, the temptation to go mad at these things is huge. So many nice games in there, but like I say, some places are fairly realistic with the pricing. Some are a little bit OTT. I said to, I think Russ in his comments, I said it was good. I enjoyed it. There were a few notable absences, stall holder wise. It would have been nice to have seen a few more stalls there, maybe half a dozen more, and maybe with it going into, it looked like there was another hall that was closed off next to it. It would have been quite nice if that was open as well. It would have given you a little bit more selection, maybe a little more choice. But anyway, it was fun. I enjoyed my day, and that's about it really. like I say, I've picked up some other bits and bobs here and there, but I'll probably go over those in another video if I ever get off my backside to do it. And like I say, keep your eyes peeled. You might actually get some live at the booter footage finally, after only probably half a decade of me keep trying out different cameras and not really getting very far with it. So yeah, that's about it for now. I think after saying at the start I was going to try and make this quick, it's probably still dragged on fairly significantly, so I do apologise for that. That's about it for now. Thanks to the people who are still subscribed. I think I've had a couple of new subscribers in the month since I've last uploaded, and obviously lost a few, which I can't say I blame them. You know, you're going to stay subbed to someone who only releases about 3 videos a year? Probably not likely. But anyway, I do appreciate the views and the subs for the people that are daft enough to stick with us. Anyway, that's enough jabbering for now. This is Darth Steve 333 signing off. Bye bye.